So in this video, we are going to talk about rebalancing, right? So rebalancing is one area where a lot of people have queries, right? That they sometimes think that extra trades are being generated for them. Sometimes they think that the performance of their portfolio is not matching what small case shows, and there are a bunch of other queries. So in this video, we will try to address all of these queries. So the first question that everybody has is, what is rebalancing, right? Rebalancing is a way for us to modify the allocation in your portfolio based on the market conditions, right? And how rebalancing works on small case is that we as a manager, we give this information to small case that, I want stock A to have 10% weight, B to have 20% weight, C to have 25% weight, and so on, right? And now what the small case system does is that based on the price of the stock and the amount that is to be invested, right, it will calculate the number of shares. So the number of shares are your investment value into the weight divided by the price, right? So this is the number of shares that will come if you have these stocks in your portfolio. Now, obviously, when we rebalance, let's suppose this is your allocation on 1st January 2022. 1 month later, what we'll do is we will change the allocation. So let's say our model says that let's remove A and add allocation to F. Remove stock A and add stock F. Again, depending on their share prices, you will get a difference in number of shares, right? So A number of shares have gone to 0 and F number of shares have increased. Now we are assuming that prices are same, which will not be the case, and I'll explain that to you later. But in the in this theoretical ideal scenario, you will see trades coming into these two stocks. So your trades will look something like this, right? After the rebalance, stock A has generated a minus 50, which is a sell of 50 shares, and stock F has generated a buy of 217 shares. And so this is the rebalancing process in its simplest sense, right? That we suggested these weights that amounted to these shares. When we change it, they want to be this number of shares, and these are different. But obviously, as we all know, there are a number of things that differ from the ideal scenario, and we'll look at those one by one. A number of queries that we get is that you sent a certain, rebalancing update, and you said that only these two stocks are supposed to change. But, when I go to rebalance, I see that there are a number of stocks that have actually changed. Why does that happen, right? So I'll explain that also to you, right? So this is your ideal case that, we change only A and F and only trades in A and F and generated. But in the actual market, what will happen is that the prices of the stocks also change, right? So the price will not stay static. The prices of the stocks have changed from the previous period. And that is why now if you multiply the same weight to these shares, you will see that unwanted trades have occurred, right? There are trades that have occurred in stock B, C, and E, which we were not wanting for them to occur, right? But they only occurred because there was a price difference between us sending you the rebalance and you receiving the rebalance, right? So, when we rebalance it based on the Friday price, let's say. But you get it on Monday, and there is a price differential between Friday and Monday, which, obviously there are 20-25 stocks. Any slight price differential can cause these minor differences to occur, right? And we do not want you to trade these differences. And there's a reason for that I'll explain later, right? So, to counter to not, have you trade these unwanted shares, what happens is that we send you a mail, right? So you receive a mail like this, which says that you have rebalances pending. And in that mail, you see that there is this mention, right? That weekly update, your deallocation policy suggests this, so deletion of this, increase in this, right? So you will receive all the changes that we really want you to make, right? And if you click on this update, you will know more about the rebalance. And I will demonstrate to you a proper rebalance in this video. We not want you to make those minor changes, right, that have come up when you are rebalancing, right? So the reason for this is that there are costs associated with trading, right? And we all know that every time you are suggesting your rebalance, you are incurring a cost, right? We don't want you to incur, too much cost, right? So that's why we want you to avoid all the trades that are not, required. So let's say, so that the costs associated with trading are your brokerage costs, your security transaction costs, your stamp duty, depository charges, GST, and taxes, right? So if you look at this example that I showed you previously, that we wanted change only to be there in A and F, but suddenly the 3 other changes have come up, right? So what happens is that there is the trade, like they're assuming that you are paying 0.1% as the trading fees. You are on a discount brokerage, your brokerage is very low. So you should ideally have just paid 10 rupees as a trading charge and 15 rupees here because you're selling that share. But in this case, this excess shares that have come up will increase your cost by 45 rupees, right? Because every time you're selling the share, like I said, you are paying the depository charges as well, right? So to avoid all this, we give you that email that says that let's not change these 3 things, only change A and F, right? So you can just edit your rebalance and make those changes. I'll demonstrate to you how you can edit that in the Smallcase app now. Now, before I demo that rebalance on the Smallcase website, I'll show it to you, what is the implication of delay in rebalancing, right? So let's say the rebalancing update comes to you Monday morning, right? But you don't trade on Monday morning. You wait till, let's say, Wednesday, Thursday, or later to make that trade. So obviously, the prices would have moved, right? And your performance will start differing from what is being shown on Smallcase, right? So Smallcase has now made a lot of changes in their website that will account for price changes during the day. So if you rebalance on the next day, you will broadly match, your performance will match the performance that Smallcase shows. But if you have waited like a couple of days or couple of weeks or more, then obviously your performance will vary, right? Because you are looking at a price on a different day, whereas Smallcase is looking at a price on a different day. Also, not just that, if you are trading on a particular different day, then the number of shares that you're getting because the prices have moved will be different from what is there in the ideal case, right? And when you come and rebalance next time, you will see that, whereas we might have suggested trades in A and E, suddenly you are seeing trades in a number of other shares, right? Which is because there is a slight difference between your portfolio and the ideal portfolio because of either the delay that you have taken or because you had edited your portfolio last time, you have customized this size last time, and there is a minor difference. That might be the case, and you might see some changes coming in your portfolio, some trades coming out in your portfolio which are not expected based on our message. Now I will demonstrate to you how to rebalance, how I'm rebalancing this particular portfolio, and if there are differences, why are they coming, right? So this is how, the portfolio looks like. So on the Smallcase website, you can see that, I've logged in, so I can see that, okay, this is my investment value, this is a recent rebalance that has come. I can see the details by clicking here, and I can do the update by clicking here. When I click on the update, it shows me that, this is the number of stocks that are changing. Right? It says that you have to buy a Dani Green transmission in this, and you have to sell this, right? But in the above message, I can only see that it is written that delete Vedanta and persistent and add liquid B, right? So only 3 of these changes are something that we suggested, and rest of them are actually not something that was given by the model. So you can customize it, right? You can click on customize, and so like I said that we didn't want to make changes in Adani Green Transmission Enterprises. I made this 0. I'm okay with Nippon, I'm okay with Tata Elxsi. So I have made those changes, and I wanted to remove Persistent and Vedanta. So I've again made those changes, right? So only 3 trades that were, suggested in the message will be done. I can confirm this. When I confirm this, I can just, again review it or click on rebalance, and the trade will happen. I confirm this, and then, the 3 trades that were suggested have gone through, and, this got done. I can, click on the order details, how these orders were taken, what is the price and all, or I can go and track the performance of this particular portfolio, right? Now, again, this portfolio was rebalanced on Monday, but I am making this change on a Thursday, right? So I have waited 3 days, and it has caused some sort of a difference, right? So obviously my portfolio is going to differ from the actual portfolio by a little bit. Question that we get is that, my portfolio is drastically different from what Smallcase is showing here, right? That is what the question people have, right? And why does that difference occur? First reason is that you did not rebalance on the same date, right? So if the rebalance came on Monday and you rebalanced on a Tuesday, Thursday, Friday or later, then obviously prices have moved, you're getting your performance has different, right? So that is understandable. That I think all of us agree on. But if, let's say, you are rebalancing on the same date, right? You are rebalancing at 10:30, you are rebalancing at 12, 2, or any other time between the same day, then then it shouldn't differ, right? Then you should be getting near to ideal performance, right? So that's why Smallcase has now added a cost-adjusted performance. So if you click on cost-adjusted performance, you will see that what is the return that this portfolio has generated, right? And you can look at it at different horizons. And let's say you wanted to vary the amount. You want to say that my brokerage is higher, right? I have to pay 5 rupees, right? And I can't trade at market close. I will trade at next day market close, right? You can make all these changes as per you. Let's say you didn't invest 1 lakh, you invested 50,000, right? You can apply all these changes, right? That my percentage was not 0, it was 0.1%, right? So I apply all these changes, and it will show me what would we have in the performance. So you will see that the performance changes because your transaction costs have increased, right? Because you have increased your brokerage fee and you're trading at a difference. So the idea is to be very transparent. We are telling you, we are transparently showing you how these charges will impact your performance, and so you can look at these things to make a decision on yourself and see that it will not be very, very drastically different from your performance if you are rebalancing on the same day. There is another option of seeing how your timing impacts the market. You click on this, it will show you that if you had rebalanced on the same day, as suggested by the manager, this is how the performance will be, and you would have incurred 236 rupees as slippage, right? Because there are differences in prices of when you trade and when you actually get the allocation. So you can change it that what happens if I place it on the market close, then the slippage has increased and your performance would have differed. So these are very practical things, right? That are beyond the control of a system, right? It totally depends on when you are acting upon these orders, right? And these slight changes will be part of the process always, right? So in a very typical day when there is not too much market movement, then these costs, they don't matter too much. But on days when there is too much market movement, like suppose the market has gone down 2%, 3%, or a particular stock has gone down further, then you will see that suddenly your impact costs are looking higher. And that is part of the process that we have to understand as investors if we are doing this DIY investing. That we have to understand is that your return, you could have bought this particular small case at, let's say, 1 year ago, and then you added money, let's say 2 months later, then you added more money 3 months later, then you added more money 2 months later. Let's say you remove some amount of capital after some time, you got some dividends, some adjustments were made, right? So whereas this return will just show you, return on the particular capital that you have put in, better idea if you look at the XIRR. And this feature has been added by Smallcase that you can track when you go to any investment you have made, click on it, you will see the returns as well as the XIRR here, which gives you a much more transparent picture of return on your invested capital and whatever you have removed and your investment horizon. Cost and the differences in timeline, which are all practical matters, right, which will occur, right? There are other implications in terms of, you have to pay tax whenever you trade, right? So the taxes are based on, you typically pay a capital gain tax and a dividend tax whenever you're investing in a small case, right? So let's say you have made, you haven't traded a share for more than 12 months, you've held a share for 12 months, then your tax would be around 10%, and it will be, and then there will be surcharge on top of it. But if you trade within 1 year, right, you have not held a share for 1 year, then your tax will be 15%. But if you have made a loss, that will offset the gain, and you can carry forward that loss to further years as well, right? And if you have received any dividend, then on our dividend you have to pay a TDS if your dividend is more than 1,000 rupees. So you have to pay 10% TDS if the dividend is more than 10% rupees. So all these details are also given out there on the Smallcase website, and the idea is to be very, very transparent. And there is no scenario where if you have rebalanced on the same day as the rebalance, will your performance vary very, very drastically from the actual Smallcase that is showing there, the cost adjusted value that have been shown, right? So the only reason for any of these differences are, the variation in prices, the slippages, if you have made a delay, or if you have customized and things like that, right? So I hope this video was informative, and you got to understood more about the rebalancing process, and you got a better clarity about it. Please reach out to us, comment on this if you think you missed out on anything, and we'll take it from there. And thanks a lot for watching, and I really hope that this proves to be helpful.